Hey guys, it's Jesse here. I have a few things that I wanted to talk um, about my family and recent developments with family. Um, so my brother has finally moved out after living with him, I guess, for like 2.5 months, which is a long time. Um, I made a video about how it was kind of wearing on me, and it was pretty hard, like pretty annoying, financially wearing. And that's all true, but actually near the end of the time he was living here, for like the past month or so, we actually started getting along really well. And the dynamic kind of balanced out, and we found this place where we could actually live with each other. And so that was good. It was really kind of amazing to spend so much time with him, because he was just here all the time with a broken foot. Like, he wasn't going out and working or anything. So it was just like every day I was spending time with him. And I haven't done that since I was a kid. Like, it's been a really long time since I've spent that much time with him. So it really turned out to be a pretty positive experience. I think we're closer now because of it. We had a lot of good talks recently. I talked to him a lot about my identity and about being butch, and like he he's more amazing than I give him credit for, I think. Like, he's pretty great. He's like how do I describe my brother? He's kind of, I don't know. Anyway, he we had this one talk recently. I told him about top surgery, and he was totally accepting and really cool about it. And he even said that like he would want to help me financially to pay for it, which I know isn't possible, but it was like a really nice gesture. It was a nice thing for him to say. Um, but we were talking recently about me getting surgery, and he was like, "So, does that mean that you'll be my brother? Like what's gonna be different, really?" And I was like, "Well, no, like I'm not planning to change my pronouns." He's like, oh, "Okay, so you'll always be my sister." Yes. And I was like, cause I'd, like I'd call you my brother if you wanted. And I was like, well, actually, like I kind of like that term better. Like, I kind of feel more like a brother than a sister. And he was like, "Yeah, well, I've always wanted a brother." He's like, "I guess actually you've kind of always been my brother," which is totally true. Like, we've always just been boys together, like running around with our shirts off, fighting and going off jumps on our bikes and whatever. So that was really sweet of him to just like be totally open and willing to, whatever may come. So that was nice. Um, and I had a breakthrough with my dad recently. He, it's funny the way that I like can explain things to him and make him understand. I feel like it's so different from most other parents. Like, my dad has always been very sex positive. Like, whenever we were watching movies as a kid, if a sex scene would come on, like, he wouldn't try to um, censor it. He'd be like, "It's sex, it's normal. Like, real sex isn't really like it is in the movies, but it's just sex. It's just a part of life." And he would talk about how he was more concerned about us watching violent movies than movies with sex. So I've always just had no shame around, well, on my dad's side of things, like no shame around sex and whatever. And I think that sex is pretty important in his life. I don't really want to know that much about his sex life, but I know that he has one, and it's important to him. So I kind of used that as a tool to make him understand why I wanted top surgery. Um, the last time that we had spoken, he said that he basically wanted to have a debate with me. He was like, I want my friends, Jeff and his partner, and my gay friend, Max, to come, and I want us to all sit down and talk about it and like have a debate. And I like tentatively agreed to it, and then when I thought about it when I was alone, I was like, that's insane. Like, this is my body and this is my identity, and I don't want to talk to these people that I don't really know. Like, I'm sorry. That's weird. So I just we drove out to my grandparents' place like a week or two ago. And I was like, "Oh, I wanted to like talk to you about this, like about my surgery, um, just the two of us." And he was like, "Okay." So we started talking about it, and I kind of brought to the surface some of his fears, like, so going back to the sex thing, he like, for one thing, he kind of worries, like, since I am lesbian identified and still, for the most part, identify as a woman, he feels like this will affect my love life. Like, he thinks that I'll be undesirable to women. Um, yeah, he worries, like, how that'll affect my relationships. And I really don't think it'll make a difference. Um, and he started asking me about my sex life. He's like, so like when you're having sex with a woman, like does that woman like enjoy your body and like enjoy your breasts? And I told him that a lot of the time when I'm having sex with people, especially with new people, like I don't take my shirt off at all. Like I'm just not comfortable with that part of my body, and like I don't allow people to have access to that part of my body because it doesn't feel good for me. Whether or not it feels good for them, like it doesn't matter because it doesn't feel good for me, and it takes me a long time to build trusts to be able to do that. And so I think that really clicked for him. I think he didn't really get it until then. That it was like if you can't even like be comfortable being naked and having sex, like that's definitely an issue. So that was a good talk, and he also was worried about like the surgery itself, which I think is totally fair. Like it's a major surgery. He's my parent. Like he wants me to be healthy, and it's scary to think of your kid going for major surgery, but I think he thought it was more major than it is. Like he thought I'd be in the hospital for a few days. So when I told him that I'd be out of surgery the same day, he was kind of like, "Oh, well, that doesn't sound so bad." And he also said that he really wants me to be as healthy when I come out of surgery as I am going in. Like he's worried about my health. And then I explained to him that I'm going to be healthier when I get out of surgery. And he was like, "What do you mean? What are you talking about?" And I was like, "Well, number one, my mental health is going to be better. I'm going to feel comfortable. I'm going to feel more confident. I'm going to just like feel more capable of doing things in my life. Like I'm just going to feel so much more free, and it's just going to be a weight off my shoulders. And as well as that, I won't have to wear a binder, which fucking kills my back and gives me a lot of physical problems." So I think that was an eye-opener for him as well. And at the end of the conversation, he agreed that he would co-sign for a loan for surgery. So that's pretty amazing. We're actually going into the bank this week to do the application. I'm not sure that he'll qualify. So I'm trying not to get my hopes up about it, because I did that last time with my aunt, and I was pretty bummed out when that didn't work out. So I'm just trying to not invest in the idea too much, but it could happen. And if it does work out, if it does go through and I do get this loan, then hopefully I can get surgery in the fall. So I feel like my eyes have been really wide open this entire video, talking about feelings. Calm down. The next step that I have to take is to tell my mom. She doesn't know anything. She's the only one who I haven't told. My dad and my brother and sister know. And I have to tell my mom. And I really don't know how it's gonna go. I don't know I haven't really, I know that this video is getting long, but it's gonna end soon, don't worry. She doesn't really have the kind of understanding that my other family members do about queerness and, gender identity, even though they might be limited. I feel like hers is even less. So I don't know how I'm going to tell her. I don't know what her reaction will be. I have a guess. I do not at all think that she will, not accept me. I think there are two possibilities. She'll either be like, of course, I understand, I love you, do what you have to do, or she'll be really upset and sad and kind of, take it on herself in a way that's it's her fault that I don't know. I'm worried that she's either I just am worried that she's gonna be sad and not understand. So I'm gonna have to think about how I'm gonna tell her that. And I'll tell her I'll tell her this week. I'll let you know. Okay, see ya. Also, I just realized that I said that if I get the loan, I'll get surgery in the fall, but I meant to say the spring. Spring 2012, if I can get the loan.